Dear students, happy to see you again through this channel. The topic that is going to be discussed today is the 7th supplementary of 10th standard titled A Dilemma by Silas Weir Mitchell. Let us concentrate on the writer Silas Weir Mitchell before we move into the story. Silas Weir Mitchell was born in 1829 and died in 1914. He was a neurologist by profession. Neurology is the study of nerves and their diseases. Neurologist is a man who studies neurology. He was among the famous physicians of his time and a prolific writer of both scientific and literary works. Prolific means producing lot. He was born in Philadelphia, studied at the University of Pennsylvania, and received the degree of MD in 1850. He is considered the father of neurology as well as a pioneer in scientific medicine. Here we can understand that the father of neurology is this writer Silas Weir Mitchell, and the word pioneer refers to a person who is the first to study and develop a particular area of knowledge, culture, etc. that other people then continue to develop. The synonymous word for this pioneer is trailblazer. He published more than 25 literary titles, and his medical experiences and background helped him to write historical fiction with much psychological insight. Insight means inner thought of a person. Many honorary degrees were conferred upon him, that is given to him by several universities at home and abroad. He received many awards at home, even abroad. The American Academy of Neurology Award for Young Researchers is named after him. Nowadays, many young researchers are receiving awards in the name of this writer Silas Weir Mitchell. Let us now move into the story, A Dilemma. We can pronounce this word as dilemma as well as dilemma. Gist of the lesson. The narrator, Tom, tells about how his uncle Philip bequeathed, that is, left his property, that is, an iron box with rubies and dynamites to him. His uncle gave him a key to unlock it. Tom was really in a confused state whether to open it to get rubies or to get killed by dynamites. He consults Professor Clinch, but the professor says his uncle is a liar. The uncle's doctor, Dr. Schaff, told him not to get confused thinking about rubies. Pulling between rubies, that is wealth, and dynamites, that is danger, at last Tom gave rubies and pearls to the Society for the Preservation of Human Vivisection. Vivisection means the practice of doing experiments on living animals for medical or scientific research. Let us have a summary of this story. The word dilemma means a situation which makes problems, often one in which you have to make a very difficult choice between things of equal importance. The synonymous word for this term is predicament. Silas Weir wrote the short story A Dilemma, in which he brings out a real dilemma in the life of a man. The author is the narrator and his name is Tom. And this Tom talks about his uncle named Philip. Tom's uncle Philip has not attachment with his family members. He was an inventor and an able mechanical engineer. He was quite rich and he had the habit of collecting precious stones. He was a bachelor and lived alone, cooking his own food. The author's mother told him that his uncle Philip would never help Tom. Philip, that is the author's uncle, called the author, that is Tom, 1 week before his death. When Tom met his uncle, he told him that he had been living on an annuity he was getting from his fortune. He accepted that he had been working only to gather wealth. He felt sorry that he had not helped any of his relatives. He was not very rich and he had all the precious stones intact with him. He would officially give all the precious stones to the author. The author thanked him for giving the stones to him. His uncle told him that he would pay for his uncle's funeral. All the stones were kept in a box. Before opening the box, he should read a letter which was kept on the top of the box. He died the next week and he was handsomely buried. The author opened the safe and found an iron box. The word safe means a strong metal box or cupboard with a complicated lock used for storing valuable things. There was a letter on the box. The letter said that the box contained many valuable stones. At the same time, it had a dynamite which would explode when the box was opened. So, he could own the stones, but he could not take them out of the box. He thought of many methods to open without being killed, but he could not get any idea. In his despair, he consulted some educated and knowledgeable people. He could not get help from anybody. One doctor advised him not to think too much about that. He spent his leisure time in the library reading about dynamite. It was absurd to have wealth and not having any chance to use it. He thought of finding out a person who would be ready to open the box. He became weak and thin. He took it to the confession table, but there too nothing good happened. The girl, Susan, whom the author Tom was going to marry, cancelled her engagement with him, saying that he was half insane. He made his will, leaving the rubies and pearls to the Society of Preservation of Human Vivisection. So automatically the asset went to the government and he had not opened the box. Thus the story ends. We conclude from this story that a man craves for riches and keeps running after it. He bothers least to face any difficulties and pain to live a rich and luxurious life. So, one must understand that one will certainly attain the prize for which he undergoes hardships and does hard work. And we get the moral: no pain, no gain. Last but not the least, let us know what his uncle Philip wrote in his letter. Here follows his letter. Dear Tom, this box contains a large number of very fine pigeon blood rubies and a fair lot of diamonds. One is blue, a beauty. There are hundreds of pearls. One, the famous green pearl, and a necklace of blue pearls for which any woman would sell her soul or her affections. The phrase sell her soul means to do anything, even something bad or dishonest, in return for money, success, or power. That is equal to the devil. I thought of Susan. I wish you to continue to have expectations and continuously to remember your dear uncle. I would have left these stones to some charity, but I hate the poor as much as I hate your mother's son. Yes, rather more. The box contains an interesting mechanism which will act with certainty as you unlock it, and explode 10 ounces of my improved super sensitive dynamite. No, to be accurate, there are only 9.5 ounces. Doubt me and open it, and you will be blown to atoms. Believe me, and you will continue to nourish expectations which will never be fulfilled. Nourish means keep. As a considerate man, I counsel extreme care in handling the box. Don't forget your affectionate uncle. Let us see the contents of the letter. In the letter written by Tom's uncle, it was stated clearly that the box contained a large number of very fine pigeon blood rubies and a fair lot of diamonds. One was blue, a beauty. He had also mentioned that there were hundreds of pearls. One, the famous green pearl, and a necklace of blue pearls. For any woman would sell her soul or her affections. That means any woman would do anything bad to obtain this necklace. He told Tom to continue to have expectations and continuously to remember his dear uncle. He said that he could have left the stones to some charity, but he hated the poor much more than his nephew, that is, Tom. He had stated that the box contained an interesting mechanism which will act with certainty when unlocked and explode accurately 9.5 ounces. He also added that he should not be doubted, for he would be blown to pieces. He counseled Tom that he should take extreme care in handling the box. Tom should open the box with confidence to obtain the precious stones. If Tom opened the box with fear, the box would explode. If he opened without fear, the box would not explode. Hence, Uncle Philip asked Tom to believe him and then unlock the iron box. Contrary to it, if Tom has to believe the letter, he will continue to nourish, that is, to keep expectations which will never be fulfilled. Uncle Philip had also wished Tom to be rich and asked him not to forget his affectionate uncle. Now, we are going to learn what were the efforts taken by Tom to open the iron box. The day after Uncle Philip's death, Tom opened his safe and found in it nothing but an iron box, heavy and strong, about 10 inches long, 8 inches wide, and 10 inches high. He carried the iron box to his lodging, set it down with care in a closet, laid the key, and locked. Tom was curious and tried all possible ways to open the box. Hopefully, he began to exert his cleverness upon ways of opening the box without being killed. He thought it would be easy to explode the box by unlocking it at a safe distance and arranged a plan with wires. But when he reflected on what would happen when the dynamite scattered the rubies, he knew it wasn't the right step. For hours at a time, he sat looking at that box and handling the key. In his despair, he consulted Professor Clinch about his dilemma. But he was turned down by the professor, stating the dubious, that is, doubtful nature of his uncle. He also consulted Dr. Schaff, Uncle Philip's doctor. He did nothing else but contrived, that is, managed wild plans to get at them safely. He spent all his spare hours at one of the great libraries reading about dynamite and discussing with the library attendants. He tried to calculate the amount of shake needed to explode the box. He wanted to easily drop the box from a height somewhere, and if it did not explode, could then safely unlock it. In his despair, he advertised in the Journal of Science and had received absurd schemes sent to him by the dozen. Overall, his attempts were all in vain, that is, useless. Let us know more about Uncle Philip. Uncle Philip was the narrator's, that is, Tom's father's only brother. He hated the narrator's mother, that is, Uncle Philip hated Tom's mother. Tom's mother too had told him long before Uncle Philip's last illness that he need not expect anything from his father's brother, that is, Uncle Philip. Uncle Philip was an inventor, an able and ingenious mechanical engineer, and had much money by his improvement in turbine wheels. He was a bachelor, lived alone, cooked his own meals, and collected precious stones, especially rubies and pearls. From the time he made his first money, he had this mania, that is, a greater desire. As he grew richer, the desire to possess rare and costly gems became stronger. He was malicious. He was an odd man who couldn't be understood. He was extremely clever in mechanic arts. He had a patent for the explosive which helped him to become rich. Let us now fill in the blanks with the right option for the textual questions and get the summary of the story, a dilemma, so that we can understand the story even better. Question number 1. The narrator was sent for by his uncle when he was dash, on his deathbed, on his travels, in his workplace. The right answer is on his deathbed. Question number 2. The uncle had collected precious dash, jewels, stones, articles. The right answer is stones. Question number 3. His uncle announced Tom as his heir and wanted him to pay for his dash. Rented house, marriage, funeral. The right answer is funeral. Question number 4. Leaving an iron box for Tom, his uncle instructed him not to dash the box. Throw, carry, shake. The right answer is shake. Question number 5. The letter read that box contained dash, a sensitive dynamite, jewels, money. The right answer is a sensitive dynamite. Question number 6. He started thinking of all possible ways to open the box without being dash. Wounded, killed, maimed. The right answer is killed. Question number 7. He planned to explode the box at dash but dropped the plan in fear of losing the rubies. Home, a safe distance, a wasteland. The right answer is a safe distance. Question number 8. His consultation with dash did not yield him any fruitful solution. Uncle Philip, Professor Clinch, Susan. The right answer is Professor Clinch. Question number 9. He failed in his attempts to open the box. His efforts to read about explosives led to dash, hopes, confusions, suspicions, and he had to change his dash, name and occupation, lodgings, appearance. The right answer for the first dash is suspicions. The right answer for the second dash is name and occupation. Question number 10. At last, he bequeathed the box to dash, his offspring, his friends, the society. The exact answer is the society. Last but not the least, the concluding part of the story, A Dilemma by Silas Weir Mitchell, is none of them could understand the absurdity of Tom's uncle's condition. At last, Tom bequeathed the box to the society. The protagonist, Tom, is a true representation of human curiosity and how the iron box can drive him to anxiety and mental instability. With this, we shall wind up this session. I hope you understand the story well. Meet you in the next session and don't hesitate to raise your doubts. Thank you. Thank you very much.